because my enemy does not triumph over me. As you pull your neighbor down to their seat, tell them favor and victory are my portion. William R. Newell is remembered as a pastor, evangelist, Bible teacher, author, conference speaker, and writer of the beloved hymn at Calvary. In this hymn, he composed these words: mercy there was great, and grace was free. Pardon there was multiplied to me. There my burdened soul found liberty at Calvary. Mercy is the disposition to be compassionate or forbearing. Mercy is the act of kindness. Mercy is the act of being spared. Mercy is when one has been rescued from hurt, harm, or danger. I need you for one moment to go back in the recesses of your mind and recall the many times when God had mercy on your behalf. Is there anybody here that can recall the many times when God bestowed his kindness? Is there anybody here that remembers when God spared your life because he saw purpose and destiny in you? Is there anybody that can testify just this week God had to rescue you from the danger and the traps that the enemy sent? Is there anybody that can remember when God rescued you from the hurt that would have caused you to commit spiritual and physical suicide?
Come on.
Anybody that knows God rescued and protected you from all the threats and the hitmen that were assigned to take you out? And I know you may be thinking, why is this young preacher asking me to recall these moments of my life when God showed me mercy? And I came to tell you it's because it's hard for somebody to appreciate favor if they never experienced mercy. You can't appreciate favor if you never have somebody say, baby, it's gonna be all right. Baby, I got your back. Don't you worry about this right now. We'll get through this. Mercy there was great, and favor was free. Now, if we jaywalk through our text, we find David on a sickbed, and he's surrounded by his enemies. They have insulted him. David's enemies have counted him out. David's enemies have filled his ears with hatred, doubt, and discouragement. And I have to ask you the question, what do you do when you're laying flat on your back and you're surrounded by your enemies? What do you do when you're trying to do the work of the Lord but you're surrounded by the insults of your enemy? What do you do when the doubt and discouragement of your enemy is on every spiritual radio station? You're trying to turn to 99.7 and the devil is discouraging you. You turn to the dial of the 103 jams and the devil's counting you out. You switch from AM to FM and the devil's still telling you throw in the towel. What do you do when you can't get no rest from your enemy? What do you do when the enemy sends you text messages, emails, Instagram pics, Twitter alerts, Facebook messages after you ain't gonna make it? Do you tell God kill your enemies? Do you tell God strike your enemies with cancer? Do you tell God just go ahead and take me out? No, you tell God be merciful. Raise me up. You tell God pick me up. The only reason why my enemies are talking smack is I'm laying here with a chronic migraine. The devil is only talking smack because my sinuses are acting up. The devil's only talking smack because I got a sore throat. But let me take this Holy Ghost Benadryl. Let me get a dose of this Holy Ghost Tylenol. Let me sprinkle the blood of Jesus over my life, and I'll finish my prayer in the morning. What's your prayer in the morning? Raise me up. Is there anybody here saying, God, raise me up? Lord, let me stand up right quick. Your knees may pop and your back may ache, but you're standing when you got all the strength. That's right there. So look at your neighbor and say, stand. When you stand up, you'll be standing above the enemy's lies. When you stand up, you'll be standing above the enemy's critiques. When you stand up, you'll be above the enemy's discouragement. Is there anybody here that knows greater is he that is within me than he that's in the world? Everybody, they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They're gonna rise up. Somebody shall rise up with wings as an eagle. They're gonna run and not be weary. They're gonna walk and not faint. Is there anybody here that's getting ready to send your enemy a Facebook messenger, a Twitter don't need that. Say I'm on the rise. You're playing. Two more paragraphs and I'm done. Give him praise, be merciful unto me, and raise me up that I may requite them. I don't have time to deal with requite, but it means render good for evil. So he prays, raise me up that I may requite them. But it's not enough that he's standing. He was lying flat on his back, and it was mercy and compassion that raised David up. But now he needs something to sustain him. And watch this, somewhere between the transition from verse 10 to 11, we go from a prayer to a consolation. We go from a prayer to a blessed assurance. We go from a prayer to a guarantee. David in the verse 10 was saying, be thou merciful unto me. He was praying, God, I need your compassion. God, I need your help. But now in verse 11, he says, by this I know that thou favorest me. And I gotta park the car right here because I ask you the question, is there anybody here that knows favor is your portion? Is there anybody that knows God needs God's favor? If you need his favor, why don't you lift your hands right through here? I want to pray this simple prayer over your life. Lord, in the name of Jesus, I pray that you give your people favor in the city, favor in the field, favor when they rise up, favor when they lay down, favor when they come, and favor when they go. Favor is your portion. Somebody shout, God, favor me.
God, favor me.
I'm done. I'm going to my seat. But not only is favor your portion, but victory is a sign with this favor. David says, by this I know that thou favorest me. How do you know God has favored you, David? Because my enemy has not triumphed over me. I grew up in the old church and I heard somebody singing, victory is mine. Victory is mine. I'm going to my seat. Victory today is mine. I told Satan, get thee behind. Victory today is mine. You want to high five the neighbor and tell them favor and portion on my victory. God bless you.